much of what all the speakers said, that this country only really works because of its diversity if all of its people have a voice, whether that's Mar and Baloch, whether that's those in the PTM, right, whether it's us or whether it's other communities. But for that to happen, right, stop pointing the finger backwards, because that finger goes back 70, 75 years. I think if there are two things that I just want to say, and I try and be as impartial as possible. First, in the fight today, one of the weaker voices have been those who you would imagine would be championing democracy or democratic values, irrespective of who they like or they don't like. They do it because it's a That's one thing. I think that support has been weaker. Two, no one's perfect. But I think let's call a spade a spade. I think, and I've never understood why, there is more latitude for traditional political actors than, say, someone like Imran Khan, because when you look at those traditional political actors today, for all the democratic values that we ascribe to them, they are all the ones that have closed their eyes and voted for the 27th Amendment, effectively silencing their own mouths to a T. Not a single voice that raised their hands, stood up, and said this was wrong. 90% of them know it was wrong. And the only thing I'd actually say about Imran Khan is the following. You start to measure the height of a man and the character of a man when he's in trouble. The last 2 years, Imran Khan has been in jail. And I think more than any of the other leaders present today, and the way that they have faced jail, I think the way Imran Khan has faced jail speaks for itself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Good one.
Come on. Anand sir, I'd like you to expand, because I actually completely agreed with your version of your recent tour to KP, where you are assessing that the KP, Balochistan, Azad Jammu Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, even Sindh are stirring. But we left a pretty important province out of that stir. And this is the famous Takht Lahore moment. Now I know Raza's smiling because he's from Lahore, right? But we must ask, what's wrong with, or right for that matter, well, I would prefer wrong, what's wrong with the Punjab? Why is the Punjab so content at making sure everybody is so discontent? Considering that we are a federation, the last time I checked, but there is frankly not a lot of trickle down coming into the democratic process, and you missed Punjab from your assessment.
No, I mentioned Punjab. And you maybe, your audience here is not aware about the situation of the political workers and the political parties facing in Punjab. The reason is the media is not free. Okay. So, what I wanted to establish was, what I wanted to highlight was that the 27th Amendment is not a sign of strength. 27th Amendment is a sign of weakness. And that's why I'm very optimistic that those people who think that they are very powerful, they are feeling insecure. And this is actually a power struggle going on within Punjab. So your focus, my focus is KP. But the problem is in Punjab, and there is more repression in Punjab than other provinces. There are some parliamentarians who were elected from Punjab. They don't live in Punjab these days, they live in Peshawar. And I know what happened with them. Some of them are silent, and some of them are trying to they are waiting for a time when they will speak out. You see, if they are not insecure, why they are trying to get lifetime immunity? So they are insecure, you see. So I am optimistic because of the 27th Amendment. This is an evidence that people of Pakistan are very strong, and some people who are living in the big palaces of Islamabad, they are very much scared from a prisoner.
Thank you. I saw you smile in that last sentence by Musa about people in power in the palaces of Islamabad are scared. Tell us more about the reason behind your smile when you said that.
I mean, I think, look, I agree with his assessment on that, like, this is a show of weakness, right? You're protecting yourself from something for the rest of your life. For what reason? If you don't think you've actually done anything wrong, if you think you are acting in the right, why are you getting all these lifelong immunities to protect yourself from what? Right? Like, and you know, in the US and other, you know, democracies, sure, like presidents get immunities, but you don't really see like the military or military command have this kind of like system. They have their own, you know, parallel judicial system. And so I just like that, that's why I just found that funny. I agree with him in that I think that it shows, you know, a power imbalance. I think that, look, Pakistan's military has always sought legitimacy from external forces, and that's largely been its security partners, mostly the US, right? They've never sought legitimacy from the people because they are not elected by the people. So when you need legitimacy, they're seeking it from outside, and they're, you know, they're afraid of the people. They are, and you see that evidenced by human rights violations. You see the crackdown on repression. Hamid Sabis is talking about, you know, media freedom. You're seeing this all over the place. Due process doesn't exist. You have like military courts. You have parallel judicial systems. If you're a democracy, you don't need any of those things for citizens, for civilians.
Well, we're not. We're a hybrid Nizam now. Thank you. Thank you. Professor, I saw you put your hand up when our friend Jhagra was, do you have a repost for him? Feels like you want to challenge him back. You're really picking on my friend Tamur, by the way.
No. Look, I'll be very honest. I think if we're going to learn something from the experience of what's happening since 2022, we need to we politicians especially need to make themselves accountable. If you are saying that this started in 1947, 1958, we all know that. I'm fully aware of that. But let me pose a counterfactual. Tomorrow morning, General Munir wakes up, he's lost his memory, and he says, Imran Khan is my leader, let's bring him out of jail, and let's put Shehbaz in jail. I can bet that Mr. Jhagra, you will forget your fight for democracy and you will join that.
Never. It's not gonna happen.
Having said that, I do not wish
Very interesting hypothetical.
It's not gonna happen.
All Baat supplies to GST.
I do not wish to belittle what's been happening to the PTI. But I think the lesson that they should have learned is that the real problem is not the politicians. The real problem, I don't think Imran Khan is in jail because of his corruption, right? No politician went to jail because they were corrupt. They went to jail when they stood up to the military, or developed differences with the military. So I think what we need to do is at least recognize that we were wrong.
Many were corrupt.
Yes.
Many were corrupt, yeah.
None of them went to jail. You see, the problem is not whether they were corrupt or not. The problem is that their corruption became a problem only when they stood up.
What about the Panamas? What about the Sarai Palace?
We're getting there. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Tamur, I think I'm going to come back to you for that. I think I like this little back and forth between you two. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm sure everybody else will too. Reza, question. This is specifically, I've been trying to ask you this question for years. So I'm going to finally have my moment. So there's a certain liberal class, a progressive class, a pro-democracy class very जिसे liberal elites भी कहते हैं, जिसे इमरान खान साहब एक ज़माने में fascist liberal elite कहते थे.
Only liberal.
Right. Actually, you happen to be one of these. Now, here's my thing. Here's my take. I'm very interested in Pakistan's left-right spectrum. You're obviously on the left, mashallah. That's just all about what you see. Magar, sawal ye hai. The sawal is very simple. What has happened to the so-called liberal elite, the Friday Times editors and the Dawn columnists and all those op-ed guys in the news and the Herald ke, journalists? What's happened to your tabka? What has happened that you guys have remained silent as the 26th and the 27th Amendment have been bulldozed? What has happened in your last 2 to 3 years worth of assessments when it comes to siding with Imran Khan? Is it what the PTI calls the Boze Imran? Is it the hatred for Imran and what he stood for? Or is it something larger? Because now we're at an embarrassing moment. The 27th has really targeted everyone, including the left. So when will the left wake up? His party's woken up, definitely not that. But when are you and your friends from the past liberal elite going to wake up?
I think the problem is, there are two problems here. First is that a lot of, it is untrue and inaccurate to say that the liberals have not sided with Imran Khan. Look at Hamid Mir Saab, for example, although he doesn't consider himself as a liberal, but his positions on Balochistan, freedom of media are all liberal positions. He has been consistently talking about the repression against PTI, against Baloch people, and he gets abused for that. Day and night, if you follow social media, which I do every day, you see how much of abuse goes towards him. So there are many people.
Well, he's an outlier.
No, outlining. Human Rights Commission of
Talk about the larger gang of things that.
Human Rights Commission of Pakistan puts out regular presses. They do regular seminars. They do fact-finding missions. Hina Jilani has gone on fact-finding missions. Then Dawn newspaper has been very vocal. In fact, Dawn has been targeted by a lot of people in power, and there have been efforts to muzzle them because they take a position. Hamid Mir Saab gets a lot of pressure. Of course, he can't share many things with us or the audience, but they do this on a daily basis. There's a lot of repression. You have to understand that because we are here in DC or somewhere else where we have much more freedom to say such things. In Pakistan, it's not the case, especially with young journalists, with younger people who don't have those connections. If they feel, if somebody comes and picks them up, who's there to release them? Because the courts, this judiciary which is being mourned now, ye qatl ho gaya, isi judiciary ke oversight ke niche, isn't Imran Khan in jail for last 2 years? And hundreds of other political workers, they could not give any relief. So we have to understand the context of Pakistan today instead of targeting one class. And if PTI wants to take this process forward, it has to build coalitions with these people instead of targeting them and creating them as an enemy class.
I like that.
Khuni liberal, governor khor, jo bhi naam diye jate hain.
Excellent. Okay, I like that. Fair. Okay, now, give me a minute. We've got to wrap up a couple of things. We're running low on time as usual when the show is great. So this is your last call for questions. So if you want to stand up and ask questions, please now proceed immediately to the questioning. Stand and get it live. Please line up. While we line up, please maintain silence. Please maintain some silence. And Aista. Yamna Retreat, you get a special discount for your winning. Go ahead.
I just want to add to what Reza was saying for 1 second, because it also doesn't help the narrative of where people are when you see on social media PTI leadership, most recently, especially this week, going after, reposting old videos of students who were advocating for student unions and saying, where are you now? Where are you now? And the students come out and say, we're literally fighting your cases for free. That doesn't help.
I'll give you an example. Amar Ali Jan's colleagues left activists, they were doing this lal lal. So one of the, some PTI people, they started this campaign, oh, where is this lal lal, where are they? And some of those young men have been actually giving pro bono legal services to the arrested PTI workers. So you demolish them, you demean them, and then you expect that they will come and